Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Friday the 17th, and today was a scorcher again. I heard somebody said it got like 107 heat index, something like that. It was absolutely just gross out there, and luckily we had lots of humidity, which makes it feel much more disgusting than it really actually needs to be. So got up this morning, I got about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours of sleep. Just not a big fan of getting up early in the morning, and I set an alarm very seldom in my life, but I have to every once in a while. And getting my dog to the vet in time to have his tooth removed and be basically they put him under to do it, and some other stuff they had to do to him. It's something worth getting up for. So couldn't get sleep last night. I was worried about him, worried about if there's an infection in there, worried about issues. You never know, they might not wake up. All that kind of good stuff. Feeling a little bad for him not being able to eat. He wasn't allowed to eat from 8 o'clock last night until he got done with surgery today. And I know what that's like. I had my surgery here recently and I couldn't eat, which it's not the big deal. I eat less often than he does. So one of those things that just kind of sucks, but made it through it. Was up a good chunk of the night just chatting with somebody on Twitter net. It felt pretty good there to be just chatting away, just with no real care in the world. Excuse me. Wow. Wow. That's how lazy I am. I'm going to leave both those in there because I don't feel like restarting this thing over again. So, but I had a nice little chat. Kind of took my mind off the fear of what's going to happen today and that kind of stuff. Also, the person in my life who I would much prefer to be speaking to and having conversations with has put me on a 30-day restriction, not supposed to talk to him 30 days and blah, blah, whatever the heck. So break, what do you want to call it? So I went ahead and just chatted with a stranger, somebody I'll probably never meet my whole lifetime, and just joked and laughed about some stuff, had a good time, just talked about anything and everything. Then finally got to sleep. I gave up, finally had to sleep. Like I said, I got about 2.5, 3 hours sleep. I don't know exactly what time I fell asleep. Woke up fairly okay with it. I was kind of drearing it a little bit. I decided I got myself some chocolate milk, threw it in the freezer, kind of let it cool down a little more for the drive up. Had to head up. It's like an hour or two, over a little over an hour to my vet. Headed up there, and I kept telling myself once I dropped the dog off, my plan was to go to Hy-Vee and grab myself a like one of their, I don't know, their $5 breakfast kits, $7 where they are, with like sausage, egg, biscuits, maybe some hash browns, who knows what. So I was like just craving. I was like, this is gonna be badass. I'm hungry. It's a reward for getting up early. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna crush some damn breakfast food. And I drove straight from there, straight to Hy-Vee, and dropped the dog off the vet, whatever and stuff. Went straight to Hy-Vee, and it was one of those deals where it's like, I got there and walked around a little bit, and I was like, none of this sounds good. None of this looks good. And I was really kind of disappointed in myself, really kind of pissed off. So I said, heck with it. Headed back out, went and did some other run around, a handful of shops and stuff. Nothing's open up there until 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And I was having a hard time. Some of the oddball shops, the big things, Walmart's 24/7, of course, and stuff, and like the big Tractor Supplies are open earlier than that. But stuff on the north side of town that I was at didn't open up until later. Went by the Humane Society up there, the little dog and cat adoption agency thing. They've got hours from like 1 to 2:30 or something. I don't know. It's very limited hours when you can actually go in and see the animals and stuff. So I gave up on that and said, heck with it. Felt like driving my back out north side of town. So it's probably, I don't know, 20 minutes or so maybe out there and back. I'm like, the heck with it. So I hit a couple yard sales. They sucked. One of them was in a really nice fancy neighborhood, and sometimes those work out great. They have very expensive stuff, and they don't give a shot money. They're sitting in a $350,000, $400,000 home. They don't care about $2 items, so they just throw it out there for virtually nothing. And this was not that case. This guy had stuff out there that was actually asking more than retail, brand new for stuff. And one of them in particular, he had a 12-volt fan that you plug like in your cigarette lighter, and it oscillates back and forth and keeps your van cool or car cool, whatever kind of thing. And he had $3 on it more than what it costs brand new retail. And I'm like, is this like your best price? He goes, oh yeah. I'm like, you're asking $3 more than a brand new one. And he looked at me and goes, well yeah, but it works just like brand new. And I'm like, but it looks like crap. It was all beat up, it was dented, it was scraped up, the paint was all flaking off. And I'm like, I'll give you $3 for it. Instead of I think he was wanting, I think it's like 17. I think they're 14, 13.99 new. He wanted 17. He goes, oh, I ain't doing that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And there was a handful of things. One of the, I had an old bike there that I I'd say probably 4 or 5 years old. It's a $299 bike if you buy it at Target, whatever. Just a little crappy mountain bike, some crappy shock stuff on it. Not good derailleurs, not nothing there and stuff. And he was asking like $275 for the thing. And I'm like, that's a $300 bike new, dude. I'm like, well, yeah, but we never really used it, same as new. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not new, which means it has no warranty, it has no nothing. And God knows what you've done to it in the last, 4 years and stuff. So I was like, I'm out of here. So I took off, hit a couple of yard sales, didn't really find anything I needed I couldn't live without, that I could, mostly I had nothing I could turn and make a profit on. So hit a couple other stores up. Just went and walked around a lot of stores. I don't usually get a chance to walk around with Bruce with me all the time. Kind of stuck hurrying in and out of places. Ended up out at Menards finally. Realized just like 20 minutes ago I forgot to buy some more scrap that I needed. There was some stuff out of stock I had to order in, which who knows when it'll get here. I did pick up a few items to do a couple projects. I got a couple ideas of some stuff I want to try and do, and who knows if I'll actually be able to complete them or not. There's a little bit maybe on my skill set, but we'll see. Hopefully I can figure it out. Had a good time just chatting with people off and on, running a few people here and there, talking to just different people. It's amazing how many people you just kind of bump into when you're not like on a mission. Normally when I go to a store, I walk straight into the store, I get the crap I need and get the hell back out of there because I got a dog in the car and I don't want him getting hot or whatever kind of thing. So I went ahead and I was able to just kind of wander around, and I would have went to my buddy's place, but he had a bunch of errands to do. He was swimming, he had to go to the doctor's appointment, he had some other crap to do, and he had to do a bunch of errands run all over town. So ended up basically out at his place like an hour, not even, before had to go pick my dog up from the vet. Finally got him picked up, was chatting on Twitter and stuff off and on again throughout the day. Got my dog picked up, super happy. He came out, he was a little bit off, you can tell I've been around him enough, I know when he's a little off. He was pretty excited to see everybody and stuff, and he was super excited to see me. He was just couldn't hardly stand it. Stepped on my feet, of course, lovely with my toes where they're feeling awesome. He started playing with one of the puppies in the waiting room area there and stuff, and the puppy had a broken leg recently, still not walking quite right yet. So there's a little bit of an issue there. But Bruce and him just having a heyday. I'm just absolutely loving on each other. It was amazing how great it was. So that made me feel really good. I chatted with the staff. The staff had fallen in love with that dog. It's virtually impossible not to fall in love with this goofy bastard. And basically, it was one of those deals. The one lady came out, brought him out, the nurse assistant or veterinary tech, I guess, English, so stuff. Almost didn't want to hand me the leash. She was like just kind of holding on to him and stuff. It was kind of funny. So went ahead and got him all paid for. Had to get some antibiotics because the tooth had been infected way up in, which had to be pulled it weeks ago, when I wanted it pulled the first time. And the vet said, keep an eye on it. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. By the time I noticed, I kept watching the stuff, but it infected up inside. Had he pulled it the first time, I probably would have saved a buttload of money. Not buying antibiotics, but oh well. It's not going to like not pay for antibiotics, let my dog die. Bullshit. So there went a big chunk of cash. Spent like over $400 at Menards. That's always fun. But it's one of those things that needs to be done, and I got to get some stuff so I can build stuff to sell stuff, and yada yada. It's a vicious cycle. So went ahead left the vet there. I was gonna head out to my buddy's place again, and Bruce doesn't really dig it out there too much. Their dogs are rather aggressive, crazy, barking all the time. And with him kind of still being a little bit loopy, I didn't want to mess with it at all. So I said to heck with it. Headed back out, stopped in at Walmart real quick, had to grab a couple things that I needed from Walmart. Ended up grabbing myself like a gallon jar of bread and butter pickles. I love bread and butter pickles. So I grabbed like a big giant jar, and it was like literally they're 20 cents cheaper for a gallon jar than the little tiny jar was at Hy-Vee, but different brand. But I've had these ones before, not too bad. Not as good as the other ones, but they're still going to be fine. I grabbed some donuts, because hell, why not? I'm still not running fully yet, so it's kind of my reward of dealing with the pain of the toes and that kind of crap. Everything else basically headed home, took a different route, ended up finding an RV that I looked at two of them actually today, trying to look at a couple different RVs and stuff. Neither one's going to work out for me, I don't think. They're both just needing some stuff. For the price they're asking, they're needing too much work for what they are, and yada yada. So went ahead, talked to a guy. I think I've got somebody going to ride up with me tomorrow. I'm going to go look at an auction. They have a really like a 48,000 mile 1995 Ford Ranger. Little extended cab, badass little truck with 48,000 miles. It was nothing. So the old man drove it, maintained it. Everything on it supposedly works 100% flawlessly. I don't know what it's going to bring. It might bring, $1,000, or it might bring $9,000. I've seen literally 15-year-old vehicles with super low miles like that. This thing's way more older than that. Like I saw one, it would have been, it was 22 years old, and it booked out, I think, at like $3,500, and it sold for $15,000. More than that item sold for brand new 18, 20 years ago and how it was and stuff. And I kept thinking, if they wreck that vehicle on the way home, they're literally going to get $3,500 check from their insurance. But the vehicle only had like 1,700 miles on it. It was virtually never driven at all, which also scares me even worse than being driven with 300,000 miles on it, because you never know what it's been sitting around not being used. So Gonna go look at the that Ranger. I think don't really need a truck, but if I can pick it up cheap, I'll basically throw it back out there for sale. Might even throw a camper topper on it and convert it into like a little RV in the back. Maybe make a little road trip and camping vehicle out of it. Throw in those little really tiny little 2-wheel trailers. Throw some kayak racks and a dirt bike rack on there, and maybe just go drive around the country for a little bit. Who knows? I've never seen the West Coast. I have seen East Coast. It was out in Boston in April. Not seen Texas yet. Seen Texas, not the coast, the Gulf of Texas. I had a real good friend of mine used to hang out in South Padre Island every summer, and I wouldn't mind checking out South Padre Island sometimes. So the Ranger get way better gas mileage than my van or my truck would, so it might be worth the process that way. Just basically camp out in the back of the vehicle, and if I'm going to Texas, it's going to be late in the fall. I'm not going to Texas right now. It's disgustingly hot down there. There's no way in hell I'd do that. So got back home. Everything the whole day was going great. Bruce got here. He was super happy. He was out laying out on this deck, just chilling out. Ate a bunch of food. I had to soften his food because of tooth injury and stuff, and moved, I guess, some stitches in there. So I soaked that down. I have got a couple pills in him so far, which is not the easiest thing to do because he's allergic to peanut butter. So you can't just smear some peanut butter on it and give him a damn pill. So that's a little bit interesting. Got him tricked into eating those a little bit. Took me a few tries, but got him in there. End up getting a call from somebody who, I don't know where they stand at the point, and basically just started just chewing me out and telling me how I'm such a piece of shit and all this kind of stuff and whatnot, and it just confuses the hell out of me. I'm like, I don't know, it just don't make sense. So one of those things I try and understand, but they can't seem to explain to me what I've done that's so horrible. And one minute they're telling me that everything I'm a great person, I'm good for them. So the next time they're telling me I'm such a piece of shit and whatever. So I'm just totally lost the whole process. So went ahead, I was on the phone for that. Probably, I don't know, not long enough to solve it, but too long for considering the fact nothing got solved. So I don't know where the hell it's all at, but I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because, like I said, as a grown-ass adult, I'm doing what I got to do. So anyway, that's pretty much how my day went. Awesome up until, except for being bored, obviously, by myself there. But I had good times walking around the stores. Bought actually this new shirt. I picked it up today on clearance. I'm a giant fan of clearance. It's nice. Feels good. A little bit scratchy, but I think once it gets washed, it'll be cool. Went ahead. Did not go run today. It was disgustingly hot. No reason for that crap. I'm planning on going out maybe in the morning before I go to the auction. If not, I'll get my run in sometime tomorrow, and where I can get back home quickly and get a shower after that. So need to mow tomorrow or Sunday also. But up until that phone call, day was going phenomenal, and after that, it went to crap. So that's where I'm at right now, is ending on a crappy note, but want to talk about all the great parts of the day before the day got ruined. So that's all I got for now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.